You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
I launch RTILA.
There are two ideas. One is to automatically send a message to every contact you have, or the other one is, and I think it's much more easier, to open your network and what mean here dein Netzwerk, the contact list, and extract the email, because normally every contact has an email when you go on the contact details, and then you can use a normal email program and send make an email campaign to all the LinkedIn contacts.
Got it. Thank you, Frank. May I suggest, actually we start, you share your screen and maybe you can show me around, because I'm really not familiar with XING. And I see it's in German. The default language is German. Yeah. Is there a way?
I think.
Is it possible to change to English?
I'm not sure. I try. Yes. Okay. I switch to English.
Ah, cool.
Okay, now everything is in English.
Very good. That would be much easier.
Okay. And here you see is my network.
Yeah.
And I have 1,000 contacts now. And if I go to the contact, same first one here, and I go to contact details.
Okay.
Normally, they have an email address. I don't know this not.
Not all of them maybe have it, yeah.
Let me check the next one. I'm not sure. I hope I'm sure I'm on the right side. Yeah, you see.
Okay, got it. So the best is that we try to get the email addresses of all the contacts, yeah? That's the first objective.
But I think it's much more easier. Only with the loop you can. You don't need the loop. Then the site finished up to.
Got it. And then there we need to do an unlimited scroll down to get all the contacts. Okay, cool. So let's try. And if we're blocked, I will also show you how to prepare the work for a developer. Let me know once you see my screen.
I see.
Okay, cool. So let's create a new project. So I just opened RTILA. Let's call this project public template, XING. And this is get contact emails. I call it like that. And this one is for you, for Frank. Then I put the URL. So probably I need to put the login URL. We will come back to it. Let's take a look first. So this we can accept. Yeah, let's see here. This login URL. Is it a different? Yeah, so it's a different URL. You see here? It's a different login URL. So it's better to go back to the project. Here, this project, and then configure, and I put the login URL. It's better. So this way, every time it opens, it will open the login URL, and then we create a login command. So I go back to projects, inspect. So our starting screen is the login, yeah?
Okay.
So you switch to automation, and let's do, when you have fields like this, we need to use the populate command for both fields. And then we can use the click command to click on login. So it is better not to log in with Google, because then we get the Google securities and it complicates things. It's always better to use the normal email. So let's go and get the populate command. It's right here. And I'm going to duplicate it so that I can use it also for the two fields. So a good habit is to always rename your commands. So this is populate email. And then let's try the CSS selector click and point to try to get this CSS selector. It got it, username. Let's test. So I'm going to put just DD, click run. To see
populate mean input or not?
Sorry?
Something like populate mean input or something.
That's right. Populate is in. Yeah, populate text field is like input data into a field.
Okay.
So you see here the value is what will be fed into that field when you click run. So here I should put your real login, which I saved. This is the CSS selector, and the value will be this. Let's test it. I run. Yeah, it's filling it up. I save. I fold this, and now I want to do the same for the password. So again, I click on CSS selector, and I go and I click on the password field. It catches the CSS locator, which is good. Let's just try some dummy stuff, see if it can populate it. Yeah, it's populating it over there. So now I can put the real password. All right, let's test. It's filling it up there. So this is populate password. Done. And now we need to click this login, right? So a new command, you look for the click command. I don't know if you notice we changed here. You can now search with keyword all over the categories.
Okay, great.
To make it more easy. So click command, and I'm going to rename it to click on login. CSS locator that I want is this button right here. It has found 5 buttons, you see. Because this class is used on the top button, on the middle, on this one. So that was not the right one. So I delete it, and I'll try to click the bigger. You see, I clicked this one first, which was not good. I try to click the bigger one, but still we have 2 of them. So what I could do is that I just need to unclick what I don't want. I don't want to log in with Google, so I unclick this, and now it finds the selector for login. Yeah, so when you go, this is like, let's say beginner level, this is enough. But if you really want to do it properly, we should try to avoid using a class like this. So I don't know if you watched the video about the CSS locators that I did about 2 months ago.
No? I'm not sure. I looked many, but
no worries.
I don't remember now. I have to look everything again when we.
I will send you. I will send you, no problem. But let me show you at least how it works to get the right CSS locators. So I think it had cookies that it's still in German. So there is this tool that is called RunRx Velocity, and there's another few of them that I talk about in the video that helps us to find good selectors. So how it works is that I want this login button, but I don't want to use the class. So I right click, I click inspect. And if you're familiar with HTML, you can look it up yourself and find something that is unique to that button. If not, I use RunRx here, and RunRx is going to give me a couple of options. You see here, it's giving me this option, which is also a CSS class. It gives me this option, which also is a CSS class, but I don't like any of these. So in this case, I am not getting a better CSS locator. There is another way if you want to know how to use ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is also very good at finding CSS locators. I will do a more complete videos, but I can show you the principle is that you see here when you are in inspection, you can highlight sections of the web page. And you need to highlight the section that you're interested in, which is this one. And then you can right click, edit as HTML, and then you select the whole thing, the whole HTML here. So I do Control A, and then I copy. And then I go to ChatGPT, and let's see if ChatGPT can give us some better selector. So the prompt I use is propose a propose a resilient CSS locator to target the button in the HTML code below. And then I put double dot, I go to the line, and I put my HTML code, and let's see what ChatGPT gives us. So he gave us also something with the classes, you see, but at least I see that it's using a unique attribute, which is button. Maybe that will do the job. So we could try the whole thing here, or we can tell ChatGPT without using CSS classes, because CSS classes, they change. So now you see it gave me something that is much more stable, that uses einloggen. So it says that it's a button type that contains einloggen. But if we were in English, it's going to contain, you need to change this to login. Yeah, so let's copy this and see if it works. So instead of this CSS locator, and you see here, I don't have einloggen, I have login in English. So I paste it, of course it doesn't find it, but if I change this to what is on my language, it finds it, you see here, 1. So this CSS locator that I got from ChatGPT is much more resilient. Even if they change the CSS class in 1 week, in 2 days, my automation will still continue working. So I will cover this more, but even with the click and unclick, you can still do the same job. So now we have...
And the prompt you have in the video too, or where I can remember the prompt when I want to run a test?
So I will send you the video where you can how to use RunnerX and other tools. And then I will do another video just on ChatGPT and how to use ChatGPT to find CSS locators. Because ChatGPT is really getting very good at that. So it makes it easy for us. So normally what happens when you fill up a form and then you click login or next, then you need to wait. You need to wait for the page to load. So let's put a wait command, and we need the wait navigation. So what I want to do is that I want to wait for the whole HTML to parse. And if your internet connection is slow, you can put a longer timeout, like 20 seconds. If you have a fast internet, you can keep 5 seconds or 10. So now this flow is going to fill up 1, 2 fields, click on login and wait. Those are the 4 commands. And then for organization purpose, you can use a folder and throw everything into the folder. So this folder, I push it up and I call it login folder. And now I'll just throw all my commands in that folder. And you can, with this I, you can collapse and uncollapse to save space. So now my whole login flow takes less space. And once I know it works, I can even collapse the whole folder. Then I have my full view on the next automations. Yeah. So let's save this and let's test it. So let's click the first one, populate. So let's reload first. Let's reload this page and start from scratch. Okay, now it's empty. So I click run command for populate username. Okay, it did it. Populate password. It did it. And now we want to click on login. Not sure if it did click. Sometimes you have to wait a few seconds. And sometimes the CSS locator is not working. So what we can do is we can tweak it a little bit. Yeah, I think this CSS locator is not working. So I can, if I remove this and I try again, yes, you see it worked now. So we don't need the contain English and so on, which is better. So this will be language resilient, this CSS locator. So I save this. Now we said we wait up to 20 seconds for this to load. So now we have our login done. That's the first step, yeah? Now let's test it, run it as a command. So I run locally and let's see if it can reproduce our steps. So it's going to login and then it's going to populate the username. Yeah, that's done. Password, click login. And the login page appeared, so it stopped the automation. So it's working, the login is working. One job done, login is done. And even what I can do is I can add additional wait because you saw that it closed too fast. So I'm going to give it another, let's say 5 seconds here, 5 more seconds. So that with the human eye, we can see that the page really loaded. Now that I'm done with my login folder, I can collapse it. And sorry. And Frank, as you progress, you can see that now I'm already logged in and RTILA has kept the session. So that means that I don't need to log in again. So eventually we will do some to the next level, we will do conditional login. We can put a condition that if, for example, the photo appears or if you don't find the login button, then skip the login folder. Then we save a bit of time. But RTILA already has a timeout. So if it's already logged in and it doesn't find this form, it will just wait a couple of seconds and then it will skip this folder. So it will still work. Now what do we want to do? We want to go to network, yeah?
Network, yes.
Yes. So we have two ways. We can either create a click command and click on network, or we can see if network has a specific URL, then we can just go to URL to this, which is easier. So I prefer to use this. I copy this URL,
me too.
and then I go to new command and I use the go to URL command. Here it is. I rename it to go to network page. Network page. I paste my URL and I give it 30 seconds to load. Timeout. But even like that, I still want to wait for the navigation, at least 10 seconds. So now I can test it. I can click run command and it should reload the network page. It's working. You see, it comes back to network. So this is step 2, go to network page. And after this, what do we do?
You click on the 100 contacts.
On 1000 contacts. So same principle. Either we do a click command, or let's see if actually this has a specific URL that doesn't change. You see that the URL didn't change. So which means we cannot use go to URL. We have to click on that element. So let's use a click. Tell me if I go too fast, Frank. Eh?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I tell you.
So this is click on my contacts. Let's try our click and point selector, and we want to click. Let's try this text, and then we can try this element, and if it doesn't work, we can try the bigger element until we get it to work. So let's try the first smallest one. I click. You see it finds 3. I don't want 3. I need only 1. So I unclick this. Now I have 1. So this can work. And again,
how do you unclick? How do you unclick?
Yeah, I do it again. So you come here in the CSS selector. You click what you're targeting initially, which is this, but you see it selects another 2. So in total we have three results, which is not good. Now to get rid of the 2 results that I don't want, I just click on one of them. So let's say I click again.
You only click again and then you unclick.
That's right.
When you click again, okay.
Yeah, when you click again, it discounts it. It minus it.
Okay.
That's how we built this click and select. Yeah. So now I have one element which is highlighted here. So it's going to click on this button every time, and I just want to look here that it's not using 1101 because once you have 1102, then it will not click it anymore. So it's good. The CSS doesn't have. So the idea of a CSS, Frank, is that you try not to have anything that can change over time. So the number of contacts will change over time. I don't want it to be in my CSS. So that's how it works. We can also use ChatGPT to try to find a better CSS locator, but for the sake of speed for today, this is doing the job. So let's test it. I have click on my contacts. I run this command, and it did the job. So after I click on my contact, we should add some waiting time. I saw it was very fast, but let's wait, let's say 7 seconds. Now we logged in, we went to network, we clicked on my contacts. Now we start to have the contacts, right? And I think I saw you clicked on this little three dots.
On the 3 points.
3 points, yeah. So you see the 3 points, there are a lot of them. I don't know if there's 20 per page. So if it shows more than 1, it's good because it's going to create a loop. So we want to click there. Let's do a click command. And let's call it click on the 3 dots for lack of a better word. And then I go here and I try to select these little 3 dots, or maybe the square around it, this one. Let's see if it finds 20. I think 20 is the number of elements on that page. Yeah, so that's correct. I think this CSS is good. So what it does now, Frank, is that when you have a CSS selector that gives you 20 results, that means that this block is now a loop. It has been converted to a loop. That means that it will click all the 20 one after one, and it will run whatever you put inside this block. So once I click there, and let's launch it. So I click, it opens this little tab, yeah? So I let it open, and then I need to click something else again. So let's do click here. And we want to click on which one? Edit shared personal info. So let's rename it to click on edit shared info. And let's see if we can catch exactly this text. Now it's a bit of a mess. You see, when I click, it actually clicks, and now it finds so many other things, but it closed that window. So this is where some websites get tricky. And in this case, the click and point of RTILA will not do the job, so we need to go back and use RunRx. So let's go back into here, and I want to change the language. I still have the language here. Okay, never mind. Hopefully this is going to be in English. Yes, it's in English. So I go to networks, and then I go to my contacts, and then I want, after clicking this triple dot, I want to catch this one. So this one now,
yes,
I right click and I click inspect. Now I can see what is this specific element. You can see here that it has a specific class. And if I'm not a programmer, it's okay. I can use here RunRx, and RunRx is going to give me a few options. So it's giving me this, which is not ideal, but at least it finds only one result, or this CSS locator. So let's try the first one. You see here there is a copy button. I will use this to copy this CSS locator. And now I go back to RTILA, and I click again on the three dots, which is here. And now in click edit share info, I paste what I got from RunRx. And now you see it catch it. So once it catch it, let's test now. I run command, and it should bring us to that contact page. Yes. So we're getting there. Is this the right button we're clicking?
This is not what we expect. Let me look.
Yeah, let's do it on the browser. So if I do it on the browser, I'm here.
Wait.
Is it this one?
This.
No.
I get the same, and I click on this, but it's not. That's what I want. What I did before.
Or maybe we went somewhere wrong. Is it send message? No. Ah, no. Is it clicking on the name like this? That. Let's see. Ah, yes. I think
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No worries. So we need to click on the name of the person first. Yeah.
First, yes.
So let's reverse back. I go back here. So this is the contact list page. Oh, I just noticed now there is a contact list page. So actually we can just go directly here and avoid clicking on my contacts.
Okay.
So I don't even need to go through network. I can just go directly to this page. So now we call it go to contact list. So again, this is not about this is more about thinking than using RTILA. So now I saved. I don't need this block. I don't need this block. This will bring me directly to my contact list page. Let's test. Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Now only one command will reach here. And so it will go here. It will wait. Yes, that's good. So now we want to click on the names. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do a click command. So click. Let's name this. Click on contact name. Click on CSS selector. Click on the first bold text here. It got me 20, which is good. So now we have the loop that will click on all the contact names. I save. So if I click now, it's going to click the first one. Yes, that's good. So we're good. Again, I need to wait that the page loads. So I add another wait navigation. I saw it was a bit slow, so let's give it 15 seconds to make sure that everything loads. Okay, so now we click on contact name, it loads the contact page, and then, is it now that we click on this triple dot?
What's the difference of wait time and wait navigation?
Wait navigation will wait for the source code to display, for the page to display. And wait, and the other wait, it will wait for arbitrarily the 5 seconds or 10 seconds that you put. So for example, here, when I choose after HTML parsing, if my internet is slow and it takes 1 minute, it will wait that 1 minute. It will not proceed to the next step until the page source code is all loaded. But if I use, so let me give you an example. If I use this other wait command here, this wait command doesn't care about if internet is fast or slow, if the page loads. It will just wait for whatever you put here. You say 5 seconds, it will wait for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So depending on what you want to do, you can use both.
Normally, it's better to use the navigation or not.
So then when you're waiting for,
more sure or you get the results or not.
Yeah. So when you really need to wait for a page to display that has data, is when you load a page, when you use go to URL, it's always better to wait navigation, to use wait navigation. But if you're in a page that doesn't reload, you know, sometimes there is Ajax, so it doesn't reload the page. You just wait 3 seconds is enough. Then you use the wait, the classic wait.
Okay.
All right. So now we will be on the contact page, and now what we need to do, I think, is click on this triple dot. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So let's do another command, a click command, and this is click on triple dot. 3 dots. Again, I use this CSS selector selection, and you see I didn't click properly. That's not good. So I reload the page. Also, to give ourselves more space, I'm going to hide the preview. Now we have more space. So let's try to catch another that something is wrong. I switched the panel. Okay, let's see. No, it's not getting it. So here there is some JavaScript that is blocking the click and point. So again, let's do it on the browser side. If I go to this contact, and also Frank, it's better to build the automation with the contact that has the data you want, because if I go to this, is it contact details here? She doesn't have an email. She doesn't have an email, and we want to catch the email. So let's use a profile that has an email. I think I saw the second one has an email.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's use this guy, and then when we click contact details, then yes. So this profile is the right one for us to build our automation.
Okay.
So once we are on the profile, and let me load this profile on RTILA, then we follow exactly the same path. So instead of this, I'm going to load this page. Okay, we're on the same contact. I go back to Google Chrome, and I'm going to right click on this triple dot and click inspect and see if RunRX can give me something that works. So I go here, RunRX velocity, and then I should have, yeah, it finds 2 CSS locator. I'll try the first. So here you see you can play around with which block you want to catch. So sometimes when it doesn't work, you can click and then you can find some other elements, or you can take the mother element or the grandmother element. But for simplicity, I will take the first one that I was getting, which is this one. So let's copy this CSS locator, paste it here, and it says that it finds 1. Now let's test it. I run, and it's not opening it. So even I click here, it's not working. So we need another one. I saw there is a second one here, view box. So let's copy this one and use this one instead. So I delete this, I put this one, click run. It's not clicking it as well. So this is a little bit more complicated, but I will try to play around with this. This has 44, that's not good. Let's go back to RunRX and let's try this element here. It gives me another CSS. I copy it. Now it highlighted it, which is a good sign. So let's try run command. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
So this one is doing the job. I save. So now I click on the triple dots. And after I click on the triple dots, I need to click on contact details.
Yes.
So let's do another click command. here, and let's call this one click on contact details. Contact details. And again, I go back to Chrome and run Rex, and I'm going to click here to pop up that window. And now I right click on contact details, inspect, and it gives me this CSS locator. Let's try this. That should work. I go back to RTILA, I put this, it's highlighting it, it's a good sign. But let's test it. I click run command, and it's doing the job. This is good. So now we are clicking on 3 dots. We didn't put wait time, and 3 dots is not reloading the page. So I'm just going to wait 3 seconds for the little pop-up to come up. So that's click on 3 dots, but this is reloading a new page. So I should use a wait navigation, and 10 seconds is enough. So I click there, and then it will load, and now we are on the page that actually has the data we want. Yeah. And if you notice, we have the email, we have the address, but we don't have the name of the person. Somehow they didn't put the name. Yeah. So that means that we will have to catch the name before reaching here, and we will go back to it. So for now, once you are on the page that has the data, that's where you switch to inspection. So now I switch to inspection here, and I'm going to create a data set, and I'm going to create properties. So the first property I want is the name of the person. Even if we don't have it here, it's okay. I just create the property. I save, and now I can show the preview again so that I can see my data at the bottom. So let's say we have the name. After the name, maybe you want the email address. So I created email, you see here, it comes in as a second column here. So now let's use the CSS selector, just like the click and point, and see if it can catch the email for us. So I go and I want this. So I click, it got me the email, and it put the email here, you see? You see the email appearing here. Yeah. So this CSS locator is catching this element and grabbing the email right here. And when you're using how you call it, a property, you have different types of content. In our case, the email is appearing as text. So inner text does the job. But sometimes the email is an image, or the email is not appearing like this. It's appearing only in the source code. Then you use inner HTML. And when you use inner HTML, it will show you the whole code. So just pay attention to this. When it doesn't work at first, you can try to change the type of content. But for this case, it's good. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but in my properties, the first column should be name, the second column should be email. But in my results, it's upside down. It starts with email instead of name. You see in my table here? Yeah, so this is because you see here the dataset type is list. So list is for scrapping and catching data that are in grids or tables. When you have many profiles and you want to catch the data row by row, you use the mode list. But here we're not in a list mode. Here we are in a single profile, detail profile. So you have to switch with this button here, switch dataset type, and I switch it to detail. This is telling RTILA there is only one unit. It's a profile of a person, profile of a company. There's only one. That means that all the properties that I'm going to catch should be added as column of the same row. Don't create multiple rows. That's what it tells RTILA. This is a detailed page. I want to catch all the details. So now name is first, email is second, and maybe we add another property for the address. And then I click CSS locator. I go and I catch. So there are 2 lines for the address, yeah? So maybe,
perhaps sometime has a street too. I'm not sure, but
indeed, yeah. So you can, it's up to you. You can either catch them one by one, or you can try to find this one that catch them both. It depends how you want your data. I'll show you both use cases. Let's say this is enough for you. You click, and now you see it finds 2 results. It catches the address and the email, which you can see here. It's catching the address and the email. But in this property, I don't want the email address. So I just click again the email to discount it. And it's not working. It should have removed the email address.
Okay.
Which means this CSS selector is not good enough. But let me save. I reload the page. I'm gonna try again. And I want to see if this is, it's still catching the email address. So let's split them then. So let's call it address first line. And let's catch just the first line here. This is not working because it finds the div, but the div is actually the whole thing. So again, we're reaching a limitation. Let's go back to Google Chrome. I go back to Google Chrome, I go to this contact detail page, and I'm gonna find different CSS locators. So I right click. So let's try to catch both of them. So I right click here, inspect, and this this block is catching the full address, and I am getting this CSS locator. I copy it, go back to RTILA, I feed it here, and now it's clean. It's getting just the address. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's say you wanted to separate them and you want just the first line. So you have to click here to open collapse the HTML code. And then now we have more elements. You see here we have more elements. We have here the Zurich, and then we have Switzerland. So if I want the Switzerland alone, I click here and it gives me, this is a much better CSS locator. You see it says profile, contact, country, province. This is much more stable. So I want this. This will give me the country. So I copy this and I'm going to come back to RTILA. I reloaded everything. Go back to here. So we had address. Let's add country. Let's call it country. And let's put this CSS locator. Now it catches only the country, which is clean and neat. So this is better. Now I go back and I want to catch just the first line of the address, which is here, Zurich. Yeah. So I can click right here, Zurich. And then here it says province address. I don't know if it's different. It doesn't look different. Let's try this one. Zip address. This is the good one. See? Yeah. This is very stable. So I come here, this one address, I remove this and I put my new, and now this is clean. I'm getting always the address with the zip code, and I'm getting always the country, and there's only one result. So this is how, because XING is not that easy. They use a lot of JavaScript, but you can see that with using RunnerX, you can slowly learn how to catch the best CSS locators. So now we have all the data we want. Is there anything else you want? Yeah, there is something that is interesting. You want to keep this URL so that you can come back here to this specific URL.
Okay,
So that's useful, yeah? So what we're going to do is that we create a new property. We call it profile URL. And I'm going to show you how to use a small JavaScript code, which is very useful. I keep myself some notes with some JavaScript tips, and I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Yes, so when you want the full URL, you can use this field underscore value window location href. I copy this code. I will give it to you. I will put it also in the description of the video. So you don't need to use a CSS locator in this case, because we're going to use a filter here. We add a filter, and in the actions here, this is JavaScript actions. I'm going to paste my code, and boom, you see here, it got the address. It got the URL. So I can rearrange my fields. You can see that it's catching the URL just with this value, with this code, this little code. Do you want me to repeat it, or it's clear enough?
Yes. Let's one more time, please.
One more time. So let's delete it. I delete it. I want the URL of this of every profile that opens up. I click new properties. I call it profile URL. And this is not about finding a CSS locator. This is about using a JavaScript code that will automatically recognize the URL that is here and save it for you. So to do that, to use JavaScript, you have to go to the filter section and you add a new filter and you paste that line of code here. So later I will do some videos to explain.
Something you have to know. This is not part of a functionality from RTILA or something. This is one of your hidden tips you have somewhere.
Yeah. So we will create. In the documentation you can find this. So we have like cheat codes, like the most common JavaScript that you can use. So you can find them and get to them. Yeah. You can also use ChatGPT to create this, but I will do a video about how to do it with ChatGPT. But for now, just as a copy paste, just for the sake of this video, and we will dive into it. Yeah. But just for you to know that it's not only about the CSS selector. We can actually use, for those who are developers, this gives a lot of freedom. You can do a lot of things right here as a coder. For us as business people, we just want to know the usual short codes. Even if we don't understand what it does. I just know that this one gets me the URL.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now I save. Now we have everything we want for each profile in that loop, but we're missing the name. Yeah. So the name is a little bit more complicated to do. And you can watch again, and then I will do some more videos about it. The name, because it appears in the page before, we need to save it in a variable. So let's go back first. Sorry, I'm not able to go back to the contact page. It was no, this one, this page, this page. Let's go back to this one. So if you remember, we did the whole process to reach until this page, which is sorry, one second, I'm a bit confused again.
Contact name. Yeah.
Now let me go back so that we don't lose the flow. Let me go back to the page where we have all the contacts. This one, contact list.
Yes.
So we refresh our mind. So we reach this contact list. And when we reach this contact list, we have this, go to contact list, yes, and then click on contact name. So normally, yes, now, so this is a loop, 20 results, yeah? So I did a mistake. I should not have created these blocks outside of the loop, because it will click each contact, and before it clicks on the 3 dots, it has to be inside the loop. So all this should be inside my loop. So inside the loop of contact name, I will click each contact one by one. When I click one contact, I wait navigation. That's good. I click on the triple dots. I click on contact details for every contact. So let's do it this way. It should be this way, inside contact loop. So I'll click on the first contact. It loads the contact page. Then we wait that it loads. Yes. Now I'm going to click on the triple dots. Triple dots is here, yeah. So triple dots, let's click. It's there. And then we click on contact details. So our flow is working. So all this will be repeated here, yeah. And after we reach this page, this is important, Frank. Once you reach the page that has the data, and once you created the properties that you want to catch, so you see it's catching all these properties, that's the moment in the automation where you need to extract the data. So I need to put extract command, because if I don't put extract command, it will not save the data.
Okay.
So now I know that this is the page where everything is, and inside this loop, once I reach this detail page, I extract the data, and then it will go back to the loop and click on the next contact.
Okay.
But you can see here that if I click now again on the next contact, it will not do anything, because we actually need to go back to that contact list page. So I need to put another go to URL inside my loop. When I catch the result, before I click on the second contact name, I need to go back to that page where I can actually find the second contact. So I need to go back there. So here, let's call it go back to contact list.
Okay.
And I go back there.
Okay. Can you just wait 1 second? My daughter has to open the door.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, Frank. So let's repeat the thing again so that we can learn and remember. Yeah? So when you name your command properly, we can verbally and visually, do the loop again. So we log in, we go to the contact list, which is this page. Yeah, and then we start a loop. This is our loop. Click on contact name. Inside each loop, we have a couple of commands. First, when we click on the contact name, we wait that their page loads. And then we click on the triple dots, we click on contact details, we extract the results, and then we need to go back to the contact list, wait that the page loads, and then only it will go into the second name, which is Chem HR.
Okay.
You see the logic?
Understand, yeah.
Good. So now we have a proper loop. So this loop will go through how many number of contacts are here, even after we scroll. Maybe there will be 1,000 contacts. We will scroll like this until we get all the contacts. So meaning that now you see, because I loaded much more contacts, the number is going to change. You see, I have 120. So this is now a loop that will go through all the 120 contacts.
Easy,
You can see that it's highlighted here. So we will come back to the scroll. Let's first get our automation to work properly. Now we have enough to go through the first 20 contacts. Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's test our logic, see if this works. And then we will come back and do the catch the name. So let's run it. It's going to take a couple of seconds because it's looking for login. It didn't need to log in. So now it goes to, no, it's still loading the first page. And you can click here and see which command is being, you see it's trying to log in. It's trying to, it clicked on login, but it didn't find it. So it's going to expire and then continue.
Okay.
Let's wait a little bit. Yes. Now it went to contact list. And then it's going to click on the first contact. So here it's waiting. I think you can see here. Yes, it's waiting navigation. So we are careful. We're waiting a little bit more. It clicked on the first contact. Something went wrong. You see, it said please try again later.
Okay.
Server connection failed. I think we clicked on the wrong thing because this is a different contact. So now is the second loop. It's going to click on Shem Ashar. Let's see. We have something wrong with the CSS locator, but let's wait. See if we can go to Shem Ashar. Yeah, it's going to Shem Ashar. Yes, it's loading. So I think we have to wait a bit more. Now it's on Shem Ashar. It should click on those triple dots. Yeah, something is happening. You see, it's not clicking on the triple dots. So let's close this automation. Let's look at the results, see if we catch anything. It says that it catch something, but it only catch the URLs. So the first one, I actually clicked on the wrong profile. It was not the first profile. So we have something wrong with our locator. Let's go back to our automation. Projects. We reopen here. And let's go more slowly. So from the beginning, we log in, then we go to contact list. So let's go to contact list. Contact list, yes. So you can see it's very slow actually. So maybe I need to add here 20 seconds at least.
Okay.
For everything to load properly. Okay, now we are in contact list. So we click on the first name. Oh no, her name is Abu Kishi, so actually it was correct. So something happened. Yeah, so you see something is happening here. Either we are not waiting long enough, so maybe I should also wait 20 seconds here.
Okay.
And after the page even loads, I'm gonna add even one more wait, just to be safe. Let's add a static wait. and we wait for 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So we wait for the page to load, we wait another 5 seconds, and then only we click on the triple dot. So let's click her profile. We wait navigation, we wait 5 seconds. Yes, now it's loaded. Now we click on her triple dots. Triple dots seems to work, but something didn't work. So you see here, this CSS locator, the triple dots is actually not very good. It has too many classes, you see.
Mm-hmm.
This may change in 1 week, this may change in 2 weeks. So I think this is our weakness right now, this triple dot on this profile page. So let's take this profile page, go back to, so let's go back to her profile. Let's find a better CSS locator. So I right click on these triple dots, inspect, and I'm gonna take button. This button looks better. So if I take something with button, you see here, button, aria label more, yeah?
Yeah.
This looks good because it will always be the button, and and I don't need to use this class, this CSS class that is SC6Z95. So again, I'm gonna edit as HTML. I'm gonna catch this button here, Control A, Control C, and I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to give me a better CSS locator. So CSS locator to target the button below without using CSS classes. I paste my HTML code. Let's see what ChatGPT gives us. This is good because you see here there is no funny numbers, no funny things that may change. Yeah, it says this button. After that, there is a div, a span, and the SVG image has icon more. So let's copy this code and see if it gives us a better result. I replace here. It finds one, but it didn't highlight it. So I'm gonna save, reload this page, and let's see if it can click on the triple dots. So let's click. It's not working, you see. So what you can do here is that you can play around. You can use just the beginning, but it finds 4 of them. So that's not good. I go back, and maybe icon more is what we want. So I could just take this last part, SVG, but it finds 2 of them. So that's not ideal. Icon more. Let's go back to Runner X. Let's see if we can find something better. This, no. Maybe this one. Maybe this will be the easiest. So this class, and I could use the shortest one, this one maybe. Let's go and try this one. Yeah, this one is highlighting in yellow, which is a good sign. So let's click. Yes, this one is clicking it. It's not ideal, but maybe it's a bit better. Later on, we will do a video on how to find better CSS, but you can see here that XING is not that easy, but that should do the job. So we click on the triple dots, we wait 3 seconds, and then it will click on contact details here. So contact details is working. If I click it here, yes. And here, when I click contact details, I need to make sure that I'm waiting enough. Wait navigation. Yes, so here we could put 5 seconds and we add another wait, a classic wait, time-based wait. We also wait 5 seconds right here. Now I'm sure that it will always wait enough for this to appear. Then we extract the results, yes. After we extract the results, we go back to, this is my mistake. No. I go back to the contact list and I wait that contact list reload. So let's go back to contact list. Yes. Let's try again. So now, you know, Frank, 90% of our automation failure, they come from the fact that we don't wait enough. We try to go too fast.
Okay. Okay.
So I added a bit of time, and we corrected some CSS locator. Let's see if this works. Okay, it's gonna go through the login session. Click on login. It's not finding it. So let's wait that it passes those commands. Okay, now it's going to contact list. It should click on the lady. Yeah, I added it really a lot of time. But it's better wait too much than not enough.
Okay.
Okay, now we are going to her profile, and then it's going to wait for the whole profile to load plus extra waiting time. Yeah, you see wait time, second wait time. Good. Now it went to her contact page. It should have grabbed her contact details here. It's going to give us one result. So it's still waiting again. Now we got one result. Now it's going back to contact list. Good. And now it's going to click on the second one, Chem Ashar. So let's wait. Later, when you're confident, you can reduce the waiting time. But right now, we better have extra time. Yes, we are on Chem Ashar. Again, it's going to wait for the whole page to load. It's waiting again, the second wait. And now it's going to click on, now we are on his profile. It should have got the email. So we're going to get a second result after the wait time. We got a second result. Good.
Yep.
Now it's going back to contact list for the third time to get the third contact. So the loop is working. You see, we did the first one, second one. Now we're doing Ebru, which is the third contact. And if Ebru works, we can stop it and go and continue our automation. Okay, it's going to Ebru. Yes, correct. And then it's going to wait that everything loads. You see here, it opened that tab. Click on detail.
Yep.
We get the address, and then it will go back again to contact list. That's our flow. Okay, good. The flow is working. Three occurrences is enough. We can even look at the results and we got 3 results here. Let's look into them. So when there is an email, it's catching the email. The other 2 contacts don't have email. We're catching the address and the country separately, and we're catching the profile URL of each one of them. So we're getting correct data, yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. Now let's go back to our automation, and we were missing their names. That's what we are missing. So this is again intermediary level. We need to play around with variables.
Okay.
So I go to the contact list page. And then when I click on a specific contact, let's say the first one here, I need to grab the name here, right here, before we go into their contact details. The name is right here.
Yeah.
I can even grab the name, the position, and you know, are you interested in this data?
In the name or what?
Are you mean the degree,
No, normally not. Only the name is okay.
Only the name. Okay, very good. Yeah. So right here, let's create it's called a DOM variable. So in the variables here, there is one variable that can catch a DOM element. A DOM element is an HTML element. So I'm going to use this selector DOM and add it. And I want to add it after the page loads. So once the navigation loads, I wait 5 seconds and I want to catch her name. So I call it, let's rename it here. Instead of selector, I'm going to call it selector name. Yeah, this is important because this will be the name of my variable.
Yep.
And this selector name, I wanted to use this CSS locator to catch this bold name here. You see here? It's going to catch this value. But it's catching this bold, it's going to catch premium, and it's going to catch business development. Yeah. So what we can do here, because we don't have a way to preview the variable, So I'm going to save the variable, but I'm going to go back to inspection, and I'm going to use, just for me to find out the right selector, I call it profile name, and I want to see what data I'm getting here. So if I use this, you see here I'm getting the whole thing with business development. So I'm getting premium. Yeah, it's too many info. Yeah. So let's try to trick it. If I want to only catch, you see, I'm not able to click and select just the name. I can select just premium, I can select just business development, but I cannot select the bold name alone. So what we can do here is that, again, we need a better CSS locator. I go back here, I right click, inspect, and I want to catch just this one. And here you notice this is a H1 tag. You see the H1 here? So this is better because I know that I just want this. So if I click this, look, it's giving me H1 with a class. So the trick is that I could just use H1 and I'm getting her name, you see?
Okay.
Yeah. No, sorry, it's getting members, you may know. It's getting too much still.
Okay.
So then I better use what RunnerX gave me here. It gave me a CSS class plus the H1. So let's take this one and I paste it here instead of H1. Let's see if I can get rid of, no, we are still getting this premium thing, yeah? So let's do another way. It's bold, so no, they're all bold. Let's see if there is something else that we can use in here. It has data, you see here, data XDS hero. So as you progress, we can use this because the others, they don't have this attribute. This attribute is called data with the value hero. So this attribute, I'm gonna Control A, Control C, I copy it, and the syntax to catch a specific attribute is these columns, yeah? I open, close column, I paste my attribute, and now it's catching it, yeah? And let's see if it's catching, it's still catching members and so on. So, no.
Same before.
Same before. Okay, let's do another way. Let's do H1. And if I do input value, no. If I do link, no. If I do attribute, and I say a attribute, not working. H1, not working. So this is not doing the job. Let's do another way. In this kind of situation, we can use regex, regular expression rules. Are you familiar with that?
No, but
okay.
Not yet.
So no worries, because ChatGPT, it's a headache actually. Regex are very complicated for non-developers. But ChatGPT can help us. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take the text that I'm getting. Sorry, let's take it from the result here. So let's copy this whole result. Let's go to ChatGPT. I paste this result. So you see here, this is what we're getting with RTILA. But I want RTILA to only catch this, which is what appears before premium.
Yes.
So I can, but then some members are not premium, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Some not premium.
Some members are not premium, so we cannot use premium. We should use, how is it? This one, it's called, this is business development. Where is the premium button? Here, inside here. Yeah, this is the premium membership. So it's called class. Yeah, this is a little bit more complicated, but we're gonna find a solution. What we need to do is we need to find the other cases so we can cover the non-premium members later. We can do multiple rules, but let's say that they are all premium at the moment. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to catch me the text that appear before the word premium.
Yeah.
So I have this text here. I just go above it and I say regex rule to isolate the text that appears before the word, I put it in brackets, premium with the P capital, from the string below. So now ChatGPT will give me that rule that will just catch this, hopefully. Let's try it. See, it gives you some explanations, but this is the rule that says that whatever appears before premium, get it. So I copy this rule. I go back to my profile name, and here I go to filters. I add a filter, and there is regular expression. So I put what ChatGPT gave me here, and it's not working. So we need to find another way. Let's see another way. Is her name appearing somewhere else? So her name appears in the URL as well.
In the URL, but only if there are more, then you have the number, then you can say except the number.
Exactly, yeah.
The string except the number, or what is on the side before? There you cannot use it, or?
Yes, but let's try another way.
On the contact list page, you have the address too, and before you go to the click on the name, you cannot extract the name.
That's a good idea. Let me see how we can do that. Let's try that, because when we are in the list, then it's a list mode. It's not gonna work. It can work, but we need to put a counter, and it's gonna get complicated. But let's try like you said. So if let's say we are in the list of contacts here, yeah, you want to grab the name before clicking, yeah. Yes, it's doable, but it's more complicated, because we will need to track the position and say that I want the name of position 1 because I'm in the first occurrence of the loop, and then I want position 2. It's doable, but it's really the next level. Let's try to find another trick, Frank.
Okay.
Actually, there is a trick, which is very easy, is to just grab the whole thing. We don't care. We just grab the whole thing. So we grab the whole thing. We don't clean up here the data, because sometimes data is better cleaned in Excel. So meaning that I will just catch the H1. And when I'm on Excel, I will do my data cleaning. So sorry, I will not just catch the H1. I will I will see what the RunnerX gave me. I will go with RunnerX here, inspect. And then he gives me this. Let's use this. So I just want to see what kind of value we get. Yes, so we get this value, which has business development and so on. It's okay. At least it has the name. And in Excel, I will do a rule that removes everything that appears after premium. That's easier. I can show you on Excel how to do it. So this is our goods selector. Sorry to confuse you, because this automation is quite is not a good candidate for beginner level.
Okay.
But let's say that this is enough for us. I created my DOM variable. So let me do it again so that you can follow. So after I load the page, I want to use a DOM variable, which is a selector DOM. I put it after the weight, and this variable, I will call it selector. Even we can call it profile name. Then we know that this is the profile name of the person. And I want it to grab what is inside this selector that I got. So this way, I only get one result. It's not clean, but at least I only get the result with these 3 values. That's enough for me now. So how it works is that this will be saved in the memory, yeah. But as we go to the next page, it will take the name of the next person. So we're gonna lose it. So what we do is that while we are in this loop, I need to go back to inspection. I create a new. No, sorry, we already have the name here. So for the profile name, let's rename it to profile name. The default value is actually the variable value which has been caught right now. So we have this double parenthesis. I put the value name and I close parenthesis. Right now it shows selector profile name, but when the automation will be running, it will actually catch and put this her name with the premium and business development.
Okay.
So now if I do this and if I go to contact details, we have everything. We have her name from the variable. She doesn't have an email, so it's empty. We have the address, the country, the profile. Now we have our all our data. Let's give it a try and see if this selector profile name will be replaced by the real name of the person. That's what we want to verify. Let's go there and run it. We can run it for 2 contacts and then see if it's okay. Is Schultz in the mud? Is Mr. Schultz in the mud? Is he
I think. Yeah. Big problems.
Yeah, it's the same with Macron also. He's facing quite a bit of a challenge. Okay, so it's getting there. Now it's going to click on the first contact. And once we are on her page, it's going to catch her name before we go to details. Yes, here, after it finished loading, it's waiting time. Yes, it got the name. Now it's clicking on contact details. Now it's getting the rest. It's going to wait a few seconds as well. Okay, first result is there. And you see, we have it here, her name. Heike. Okay. So the variable worked because it translates to her name. Let's now wait for the second person, Chem HR. Okay, it's going to his contact details. It has his name. And when it's going to save the second result, we should see here Chem HR and his position. Yes, here, Chem HR and his basic member. So I think it's working. We can stop it for now because the objective was to get all the data we want. Let's look at the results. So we have 2 results. Let's make sure the data is complete. So yes, we have the first one. She didn't have an email. We have the address, we have her profile, we have her name. Then we have Chem HR. He had an email, we got it. So I think the data is stable now, yeah? Are we good? Frank?
Yes, perfect.
Cool. So let's now try to rememorize what we're doing because we have one more final step. So let's do it from the beginning. Everything is working, but it's only working for the 20 contacts, yeah? Because when we load this page here, RTILA...
It's not all loading automatically, okay.
Exactly. So now this is our last task, is that we need to do an unlimited scroll, like this. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. This is called unlimited scroll, until we actually display all the 1,100 contacts. So even by hand, I will have a cramp in my finger if I scroll down. It will be tiring. Yeah, but that's what we need to do, because you see here, I did few scroll, and now if I go to click on contact name, we have 160 contacts. Yeah, so we need to mimic the scroll down of a user. We have a command for that. So once we load the contact list page, and once we wait, where are we? Sorry, no, this is the wrong block, not this block. I'm trying to clean up a little bit this former block here. Let's open it. Okay. So when we load this contact list page, we wait 20 seconds for the first 20 contacts to appear. And once the first 20 contacts appear, I need to scroll down. So I'm going to put a new command. I look for scroll element. I add this, and I want an infinite scroll. And I don't want any limit. I'm going to put 0. That means that it will scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll until the end of the page, until there is no more scrolls.
Okay.
And then you can specify how many seconds you want to wait between each scroll. So let's give it like 3 seconds. So it will scroll, wait 3 seconds for the new contact to load, scroll again, wait 3 seconds, so that we make sure that the contacts are actually loading. So let's try. I don't know if it will work directly, but if I click, it's not scrolling, yeah? So let's still test it, because sometimes it doesn't work in the control panel, but it works in live. And also, I don't want to go through the whole automation. I just want, I'm going to put an alert. So alert is very useful for you to give you like some placeholders to double check what is going on. So I can say alert, did the scroll work? Yeah. So it will pop up this alert, and it will block the automation from going to the next steps. And also, I don't want to scroll infinite. It will take forever for now. I'm going to tell it to scroll 2 times. It will scroll 2 times and wait 3 seconds between each scroll. Let's see if we just want, the objective is to know if my scroll is working. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go and try the scroll now. Let's run it. Okay, it's going to go to the contact list page. Still waiting. Okay, now it's going to contact list, and then after it goes, it's also going to wait for 2 wait times. Yes, now it's waiting for navigation, then it waits for the 5 seconds, and that's where we have to be waiting. Let's see here, it should scroll by itself without me touching it. And if it scrolls, and if we see the alert and it didn't scroll, that means our scroll is not working, and it will pop up that alert. So let's wait a few seconds.
Okay.
Ah, it's scrolling, you see?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's working.
Yeah.
So it scrolled twice, and after it scrolled twice, I get my alert. Did the scroll work? Yes. Good.
Yeah.
So the scroll is working. I can go back to the automation. I remove my alert. I don't need it anymore now. So also the alert, you can use it to double check if the data you want is being, you can send yourself some messages to help you when the flow is long. So this is one use case of the alert. So I can remove it now. And now scroll element, if I put 0, it will do it forever until it finishes, yeah? So let's test it now. I put unlimited. I put 0 for unlimited. Let's run it again. Yeah, we have a lot of waiting time, so we have to develop patience.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, going there to contact list. I have a bad internet connection, so that's why I have to take much more time. But when I run this automation on my VPS, I usually cut the waiting time by half, because I know that my VPS is on a German data center. They have super fast internet. But on my computer, I go very slow. Sorry?
I have two fast. I think I have a fast line too.
Very good. So you see, it's doing the scroll, and it's waiting 3 seconds between each scroll. Now, because you have 1,000 contacts, and every scroll is probably making 5, so it's probably going to go through like 50 scrolls. And just for the learning purposes, we're going to wait. But sometimes it's really too long. If you had like 10,000, it could take 1 hour. But then it's worth it, because it will load everything, and then it will start the loop and finish the job. Zekman, we're almost there. I think it reached the end, you see. So once it reached the end, now it starts with the first name. So it went all the way back up to start with the first name. So let's wait. Maybe we can wait five contacts to make sure that the loop is actually working. Maybe we wait. You want to do 4 or 5 or 10? How many you want to double check?
It's enough. 10 or something.
Okay, yeah. So let's stop it. I think we
later I can run completely everything.
Let's double check what we got. We got 3 results, and it looks good. We're getting the names, we're getting emails, we're getting the URLs, and also we verified that we went through the loop. So you have your first automation. Any questions or anything you want to add, Frank?
Very cool. No? This is great. A lot of information.
Yes. No. But you know, with this automation, if you can master the CSS locators, and then if you can master the DOM selector, you can already do 90% of all the automations you may need with these 2 knowledge. So I will send you the video. Maybe I can even show you here so that also our users they can find out how to do that. So I'll show you which videos you should watch.
And you can send me this
this recording. I will also upload it.
Not the recording, the file.
Yes, definitely. So this is the video, the locators. It's a 42-minute video where I go into more details. This is very good. So let's do something else, Frank, because I didn't show you something also. So maybe this automation will take 10 hours, 20 hours, 100 hours, I don't know, to go through all the contacts, yeah? So once it goes through all the contacts, you will have them here. You will have multiple pages, and then you can just export the results. You click export, and you will export them into a CSV file.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the next thing I wanted to show you is that, let's say when you have a problem, or if you want to share this automation with someone, you can just remember here, for other users, you replace your credentials. So if let's say you have a friend who wants to use this, don't give him this particular file I will send you. You go into the login folder, and you replace, put here your username, you know?
Yes. This I see in AppSumo.
Yes, the same as AppSumo. And then in password, I will put here your password. Password. Now, this is generic. We can share it with people, and they can do the same for their contact list. So I will save it now. And once I save this, I can click on more option, export to RTILA. And this is no more Frank. This is like generic, yeah. And when you want to share it with us on a ticket, is better because .rtila file is not known by the system, so it's better to right click on the file and zip it. So you compress to zip file.
Okay.
And you send the zip file to people, or you send the zip file to us. We unzip and then we test it. And then let's say somebody received this zip file. They can right click, extract. I extract it in the same folder. Now I have this folder here. So I could go back to RTILA. If let's say I'm a user that wants to use this automation, I go back to RTILA, I click new project, I click import, and I go to that folder with generic. I click here, open, boom. I have it here. Sorry, you see the name here? It's still mentioned Frank, so I need to change it in the name here. So just we said it's called generic. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm another user, I will just import it. I open it. Sorry, I'm going slow, but so that it can help other users. So if you're new, you just open this automation. You go to populate username, put your username, your XING username, put your XING password here, save it, and you're ready to go. You don't have to do anything that we have done for so long today with Frank. The automation is ready.
Perfect. Really great. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen to avoid this unlimited thing. Stop presenting. Yes.
One thing I wrote in the email, I don't know, you made a lot of automations about AppSumo, and I think the best one is where you see all your spendings on it. But you long time not worked on this. Is right or not? You did it long time, or you updated one time?
Because we updated it. So let me show you where you get the new updated version. I'll share my screen again. Is this? Yeah, share the screen, entire screen.
Is it in the marketplace or?
Yes, in the marketplace. Do you see my screen?
Not yet. Yet now.
Yeah, you see it?
Yes, I see now.
Okay, cool. So please ignore. Don't use new project import project, because this will pull the old versions. We're going to remove it in the next release. Instead, go to our website. Go to download marketplace here, and then you can search for expenses. I'm gonna do it. So let's use this one, multi-threading expenses. Yeah. So let's download it. Yeah. Okay. I click download. It's gonna download it. Or it's gonna give me the link to download. Yes, this is the link. So I click here to get it. So for now it's on a Google Drive, so I need to download it from this Google Drive. Yes, here. You see it downloaded it. PT AppSumo, yeah. So now it's in my downloads folder. I just go back to RTILA, new, import. And then in my downloads folder, this one, PT AppSumo Expenses, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's open it.
Okay.
Let's try it together, because I know you told me that it was not working, yeah? So same as the automation we did for you. Before I launch it, I need to inspect it and replace my credentials. So let's move this here. I switch to automation, and here populate email. I need to replace this with my real email. Yes, and then I need to get my password, which I don't remember. Okay. So I replace my email. I replace my password here in populate password. Okay. Then I save. And now I'm gonna run it. So I saved it. Let's run it and see if it can log in properly. Okay, it's waiting for the page to load. Yes, it's putting my email. It's gonna put my password. Okay, so far so good, I think. And then it will go to my products page, I think. Yeah, so I'll need this. Oops. Okay, it went to my history. It's doing page 1. And now it's going to open every invoice of page 1. Sorry, every invoice order URL. Yeah, so it's multi-threading. See, it's doing 3 at a time. So this is now faster. This is the new version we did. It's opening 3 at a time, and now it's gonna start to catch the data. You see here, 3 results. So 3 invoices are done. Now it's opening the next 3.
Okay.
And then once it goes 3 by 3, and then move to page 2, and then opens 3 by 3, move to page 3. You know, so this will be now 3 times faster than the first version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I try this. Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
It answers your question?
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, everything great. Perfect. Good. So,
one second, please, Frank. I want to see if we're not missing some results. So I closed it prematurely, but okay. Let's see if we could save some results. Here, 9 results. So we're getting this. We're getting the URL of the invoice, the date, the amount, the status, and the invoice URL. Is that enough?
Great. Yeah.
Cool. Alles gut?
Perfect.
Excellent.
Thank you very, very much.
No, thank you for you, because we were
one day, tell me.
Yeah, we were supposed to do this earlier, but we did a lot of improvement on RTILA. We were like really boosting.
Yeah.
I hope this can help. Cool. You can watch it again and again, and hopefully it helps also other users.
Yeah, I downloaded all videos from you already, and I only didn't have the time to look at it, but I will do it.
Super.
I can look it on my TV on the big screen.
Excellent. And we're gonna go back to doing more videos now, especially like these ones where we do different scenarios.
Very good.
Thank you, Frank, for your patience.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
We keep in touch. Let us know how it goes at the end. The 1,000 contacts. Let us know if you get the 1,000 contacts. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bis bald.